Well, hey friends, welcome to our home. Would you like to come inside? We're going to be showing you guys our 1926 Tudor home today. And I love this house. There's so many cool details everywhere. So I think you'll enjoy it. Let's come on inside and let's start the tour. Do you want the house tour? I can take you to the first. So when you first walk through the door, you're in our very small little foyer, which obviously we use for functionality because something I love about where we live in the Grosse Pointe area outside of Detroit is that it's super walkable. We can walk to lots of different stores and do our grocery shopping, take the dogs on a walk, and have lots of fun just being able to be out and about. But this foyer area has this amazing tile work on the floor, which I love. There's tile also in our little bathroom, which is immediately off of this little foyer, and that's where you guys are. So let me turn you around. So over here, right off of this little foyer, we have our tiny little half bath. And this little area is so cute. It was just plain white, and I decided to come in here and add some beadboard. I did all of this peel and stick wallpaper by myself. There were many tears involved. That was my first attempt at wallpaper. I thrifted lots of little pieces for this bathroom, and I also switched out the cloche around the light in here. I did a lot of work in this room and just really have worked on zhuzhing up this room. I kind of played into the green tile on the floor and just kind of took the green to the extreme in this room, and I love this room. It's so freaking cute. I also recently just went to an estate sale and found these amazing, beautiful little pressed flower pictures that I think would be adorable in here. So I think I'm gonna put those up on the wall above the toilet in here and just really bring the room together. I've had so much fun designing this little room, and little rooms are just so much more fun to design than big rooms. So that has been truly a fun project. Now, as we flip around, I hate it when people chop up their house tours because I want to know how things flow together. So the front door is directly behind you, and right here is our first beautiful leaded glass door. I am obsessed with this tulip design. I think it's so cool. And these are throughout the first floor of our home. So this is the first one, and it opens up into our living room. So come on over and see what it looks like in here. So welcome to our living room. This room really, I feel like, showcases the most like craftsmanship of the entire house, and I just love being able to spend a lot of our time in here. We have leaded glass windows both in that bathroom. You saw the little crosshatch window, but we have those throughout this main floor. This house was built in 1926, so it is exactly 100 years old, and you can really see that in some of the details, especially like on the fireplace. Along all of the edges in this room, we actually have coved ceilings, and so we don't have just a straight corner in any of these walls. All of the walls curve a little bit, which I think is such a cool detail. And at some point, whoever was living here, probably before the previous owner, went through and painted over all of the original wood. I think just primer. I have been on a hunt to get rid of the primer that they coated everything with in this house. So I am very thankful. At one point in the last couple years, the previous owner did go through and have somebody refinish all of these original wood pieces. So I do think that like that amazing mantle was painted primer white, like that made it better. What are you talking about? Anywho, absolutely insane. So we do have a lot of the original woodwork on this main floor, specifically in this room. And then as you go further away from the main room, you'll see that things start getting painted. This is where we hang out. We have our couch, and then behind the couch are all the radiators, which our home is steam heated. So our radiators are functional, and that's what we use for heat in the winter. And it was quite a cold winter, so that was interesting. And there is no air conditioning on this floor. So it's been in a little bit of an adjustment from our last home, which was built like 10 years ago. So we've lived in a lot of newer homes, but this has been an adjustment, but I really like it. I think it's really beautiful. And I think that the character really helps make up for the, some maybe lacking of modern amenities. So as we walk over here, we do have a wood door. This leads into the kitchen. And then we also have two leaded glass doors over there, a little French door situation that leads into the dining room. I also love to highlight, I have such an affinity for thrifted items. Everything in my home basically is thrifted. And I think that's super important to note. Like, we live in this beautiful home and we're able to afford doing that because of how much I thrift. I do everything secondhand. Everything I own basically is secondhand. The wooden piece that sits behind our couch, it is from a garage sale. I think I paid like 20 bucks for it, and it's real wood by a designer out in California. Super cool piece. I do think that somebody put primer over the bricks at some point, so I'm in the process of thinking through what I want to do with that, if I want to try to strip it off and see if it will work, or if I need to repaint or do something. If you guys have any suggestions, let me know, because I have been steadily working on every single room in this house. I also do want to take a second though to talk about this coffee table, because it may not look like a lot, but this is actually my first piece that I ever refinished. I found this at a garage sale. I paid 20 bucks for it. I loved the shape of it. I had been looking for a rounded real wood coffee table for so long. It also opens up so I can store things inside of it. So we have some extra blankets in here, but I stripped this thing, I sanded this thing, and I refinished it, and I'm so proud of how it turned out. But now we're gonna turn around. We're gonna go through the French doors and into our dining room, which we don't use this room honestly that often, but it's a beautiful room. And obviously when we have company, we use this room a lot, but let's take you guys into the dining room. So at some point they had replaced whatever, I'm sure whatever chandelier was here originally was stunning. They had replaced it at some point with some like mid 2000s, just like the cheapest thing you could buy from Lowe's. But I went on Facebook Marketplace and I actually found this near where my parents live in Indiana. Somebody was getting rid of this wooden and like bronze chandelier for free on Facebook Marketplace. So I got that for free, and then we hung it in here. I like that it looks like oil lamps on it. I think it's super cool. But again, you don't have to spend a fortune to make your house super cute and super cozy. And then to the side over here, we have the leaded glass. These are more of like that crosshatch, which is very unique, I feel like, to our area. A lot of people do have the same tulip pattern that's on our doors, on their windows. But I do like the little leaded glass. I think it adds a little fun, touch, of course. And then we have this clock that was embroidered by my grandmother who has passed away, and my grandfather who also has passed away made the wooden frame for it. So I just got this for my birthday this year for my mom. She handed it down to me, and I just feel like that adds such a fun, like, homey touch to the room, and it's just like a special piece. And then when you turn to this side of the room, we have our corner hutch, which I have just filled with lots of things that I love. And then over on this side, we do have the original phone for the house, which is so cool. So this is a Kellogg phone. It says the North Electric Company, Cleveland, USA on it. And it does indeed, like, it doesn't work, but it is such a cool piece. It is attached to the wall, and you can hear too, like, it does actually make the noise still if you want. They also left us, the previous owner did, this original Luck telephone directory from June 1959 that sits up here on its little stand, and it does have the little working crank. It's really cool. So I kind of try to make it like a feature of the room and just add some more pictures and things around it to make it almost like a little gallery wall. But the main attraction obviously is the vintage, like, original phone. How cool is that? So now I know there's a lot of doors in this house. If we look to the side here, we do have a swinging door, and this leads into the kitchen. So let me show you guys that. We've done a lot of work in the kitchen. Definitely still a work in progress, but I want to show it to you guys because we're here. Why not? So the door from the dining room is right here behind you. And then as you walk in here, we have our kitchen. And it's a strange layout for a kitchen, I'm not gonna lie. We have this interesting little nook back here. And in this nook, we've been working, we took us months to figure out what we should do with it. It has our biggest fridge in this nook. It's a double fridge, so that's where we keep all of our food. And then we have also built, since we moved in, this giant IKEA cabinet back here because we needed some more storage. So that's going on back here. This piece, this wooden piece over here in the corner, is the matching piece for what's behind our couch. Got that at a garage sale. Amazing wooden, beautiful piece. I thrifted the step stool next to it. I got the bread box on top of it from a garage sale. And then I also thrifted everything on my little shelf up here, including the shelf itself. I got all of that from different Habitat for Humanities, the restores. I love going to those places. They have the best home goods. So back here is where all of that is. But then we also have this fridge that was in here. I'm not sure. I'm assuming this fridge was supposed to be the original fridge for the room. It's a smaller fridge, and we've turned it into our drink fridge. We don't drink alcohol, and we also don't drink coffee, and we only mostly drink some like zero sugar pop. So that becomes a kind of like a hosting pop fridge that everybody knows they can just go get whatever they want from it. But I don't know if I love having two fridges. It just kind of is how it is. Like, why would we get rid of one if there's already two? We thought about moving one. It doesn't really matter. Anywho, so that's what's going on with our little nook. We put in a standing air conditioner in this area too because there's no air conditioning on this floor, and I actually thrifted that from Goodwill. So pretty impressive, I know. And so we are in the midst of working on painting some things in here too. As I mentioned, there's so much just primer white that was on everything, including this back door, the chair rail, the baseboards, everything, primer white. So I'm playing around with things. I like the back door being black, but I think I'm going to repaint the door frame around it to be a cream because I don't think that I like all of it being black. Anyways, that's why there's painter's tape. We're a work in progress. Now, when it comes to our cabinets, we have been through a struggle with these cabinets. So they are not solid wood. We've had solid wood cabinets before. These are not. And so I decided that we were going to paint them. And I actually really like how it turned out. All of the cabinets, Jeremy and I did this together. It took us like a full week of sanding and priming and sanding again and priming and sanding again and painting and sanding. There's so many layers. I wish we would have just bought a sprayer. We didn't. We did it all by hand. It took forever, but I love how it turned out. We used oat milk from Sherwin-Williams, and then I bought all of these brass hardware pieces online, and I am obsessed with the cabinets. I think it turned out really well. I do think that once we add a backsplash that is more of like a stark white, the cream of the cabinets will probably pop off a little bit more because the walls are also cream in here. But yeah, so lots of work went into this kitchen. I'm probably talking about it too much and nobody cares about the kitchen, but I am happy with how it turned out, and it made this kitchen a lot brighter. But now I'm going to show you briefly. I'm not showing you guys the front of our house because that feels like a safety thing, but I can show you the back porch, and it is pretty adorable. So the puppies are outside right now, so you might even see them. Let's go outside through the back door. So here's Odie. Are you joining us, bud? And so Odie's out here, so is Gracie. So here's the view kind of the back porch coming down the stairs onto our back little patio area. It's just so nice to be outside sometimes. We have a little wind chime going off in the background. I don't know if you can hear it, but let me turn you again so you can see what everything else looks like back here. So right here is where we're planning on putting our dining set that we have, our outdoor dining pieces. We were moved for Jeremy's job, and they lost the pieces that connect our legs to our table for this. So I've got to figure out what we're going to do with that. But we've planted so many flowers back here. I don't know if you can see the pink flowers behind you. There's flowers all over this backyard, and none of them were here when we moved in. But then let's come to my favorite area of the backyard. I'll give you a little overview of the backyard, but my favorite part is right around the corner. So our backyard here is much smaller than it was in our Indianapolis home, but it is getting the trick done. It's harder to find a lot of land when you're in a bigger city like Detroit. And so we have our kind of Adirondack chairs out here with our little fire pit. So we have some space for things, and then we've added little whimsical touches like the duck's wings that turn in the wind and things that I found at estate sales. So it's been kind of fun. But I want to show you guys my favorite little part, which is over here to the side. So you can probably see our plants better now that we're over here. And this might seem like a simple comfort for most people, but I am so excited about my hammock. Jeremy actually got me this for my birthday, and I love sitting out here, and Otis will come over and hang out with me too, of course. Gracie, sometimes I'll pull her into the hammock with me, but it's just fun to have a little outdoor space that is like comforting and just casual, and I can lay out here. I've fallen asleep in this hammock a couple times, and I've not had it that long. And as you can see, Otis actually loves it. It's so fun. And we've added flowers over here too, so it's just so nice. But it's kind of bright out here, so let's head back inside through the back entrance. Okay, so let's head back inside. We're back in the kitchen. Ooh, lost a shoe. But if we turn you around, then we'll be able to see the side entrance of our home. So as you exit the kitchen, you have another door here, and this door leads back into the living room. So we are able to have just kind of like a big circle. But if you come a little bit closer here, there was a door on this side as well. The maid before us took off the door that was right here. And honestly, it probably makes a lot of sense because it would be really cramped right here. But as we turn you, we head to our side entrance, which is actually the door we use most frequently right here. But we have a little staircase that heads halfway down to our basement. So half of it will lead outside. But I have a little gallery wall here too with some more special pieces. Giu painted us this picture of Otis and Gracie. She made me the Pride and Prejudice little embroidery piece, and I made our wedding invitations by hand. And so I framed it and put it here as well. This is the first light that I actually have ever done the wiring for myself. I found this at a Habitat for Humanity and I put that puppy in myself. But then it's also super cool because our house is old enough that we actually also have a milk door and ice door on our house. So I'll show you guys some clips of those too because those are super cool from the outside and the inside. But obviously locked, which are super cool touches, but obviously we don't use them. They just look adorable now. Okay, we're back to the front entrance, but now we're going to go this direction to the sunroom. So you can see the beginning of the gallery wall going up the staircase to the upstairs. This door right here is another one of those leaded glass tulip doors. It's kind of hard to see because there's so much light coming through it. But now let's go into our sunroom. We have a little closet right here with a mirror on it, which I think is great for if you need to take a selfie. You have the whole gallery wall in the background. But let's go into the sunroom. So here's the sunroom. We have our former like breakfast nook stuff in this room. So we have a banquette, and then we also have another dining room table here with some chairs. So we do love to use this room as a like board game room. This table is completely flat compared to our pallet table in the other dining room. We store all of our board games in this room, and then I also have more books in this room, and then just some other amazing things that I have thrifted. We've got a nice little radiator in here as well, of course. And then this is one of the first rooms we redid when we moved in here. This room used to be bright yellow, and so we painted it more of like a cream color, and then all of the window trims were also just primer. So we also painted all of them black to give it more of like a kind of moody feel in here, and I think it turned out really well. And I really like this room. I need to do some touch-up painting now that it's summer because I did paint this in the middle of winter. And so I wasn't opening all the windows at that point. So I do need to, where the windows were closed, need to touch it up. But I do love this room. I think it's a beautiful room. It's a little impractical because it's hard. In the summer, it's so warm in here. And in the winter, it's pretty cold in here. But it is a beautiful just room to have, and we're so grateful for it, of course. Now, if we exit this room and come and turn you around just slightly, we are heading upstairs to the second floor of the house, and up these stairs is my gallery wall. And I really am pleased with how this whole wall turned out. I love thrifting art. I love collecting it, and every single piece on this wall has a story. I have not spent very much on any piece on the wall, and they all are so cool and so different too, right? So I love this little area of the house. It's one of my favorite areas I have redone, and I just think that there's so many fun pieces on here, and each one has a story to tell. So many pieces. I don't think I bought any of these from a retailer. The only thing on this wall that I bought was the A that I have on there from Anthropology. Literally everything else has been thrifted, which I'm pretty proud of. So now we made it to the upstairs. I came up the staircase. We have a door right here, which that actually leads to our attic. So we'll get up there in a second. We have two doors over here though. This is the guest bedroom and our bedroom. And then there's a little hallway behind you and our bathroom and another room right here. But first, let's head into the guest bedroom. But I do want to qualify something. I've done a lot of work on that first floor of the house to make it ours. We've only been living here 6 months. So I have done a lot of work downstairs. The upstairs is like the next project on the list. A lot of these rooms have not had a lot of work done to them, and they're not really styled yet. But I want to show you guys kind of where we're at right now. So here is our guest bedroom. It's a pretty good sized room, actually. We've got a queen bed in here. This is what the room looks like. It's just kind of basic, but it gets the job done, and many people have stayed in this room. We love to be able to host people and give people a place to stay, so it works for us. Next door to the guest bedroom is our master bedroom. But this is a big change from all of our other houses we've lived in, is that there is no closet space like in any of these bedrooms because this house was built 100 years ago. So at least for me, that has been a big adjustment. I had to keep some of my clothes up in the attic, but you'll see that when we get there in a second. But come on into our bedroom. So this room isn't the biggest room in the world. It's quite tight in here, but we don't spend a lot of time in here. We spend a lot more time in the living room and in the game room that you'll see next. We have dressers in here. I have my small closet in here, our king bed, and this whole room, we haven't done anything to really change it yet. It's painted a weird color. We haven't even hung a TV. They left a TV stand on the wall. So like, it's just a work in progress, but this is what it's looking like so far. We have our same pieces that we've had at other houses here, and it's hopefully a project I'll be able to tackle soon. Maybe we'll repaint in here and I'll do some more design, but for right now, this is what she looks like. But I do love my barrister bookcase that I have over in the corner with some books that I need to read. So hopefully I'll have some more time now that I have finished a large challenge on my channel. And then behind me here is my closet, which I have the closet in this room and Jeremy uses a closet in a different room because they're just smaller. We're unused to having a smaller closet after we had a big walk-in closet at our last house, but I mean, it's got plenty of room for what I need, and I barely wear any of my clothes anyway. I wear the same things over and over, don't we all? So that's what my closet looks like now. But let's leave this room and head next door to Jeremy's game room, which is super cool. Okay, stairs are behind you. Our room's right there. We walk in here, and this is the room that we actually tackled first when we moved in. Jeremy had it as a very high priority, and we do use this room pretty much every day. This is where we can play video games. This is where we can just chill and watch TV. The upstairs of our house is air conditioned, so we spend a lot of time in this room. So come on in. I'll have some B-roll, of course, rolling of all the different things, but we have a couch in here. It was quite literally a journey to get that up the stairs. Our stairs have a little quarter turn, and man, this almost did not fit. We almost broke everything in our lives trying to get it up these stairs. But also, Jeremy collects like vintage video games. We have lots of them. I think they're super cool. And he has a lot of different gaming systems, and a lot of them I've also found during my thrifting adventures. So we have a Nintendo 64, we have a GameCube, what a Wii U, Game Boys, PS4, PS3, PS2, PS1, PS5. Got a Switch, we've got the Wii. We've got a lot of different gaming systems, which of course Jeremy loves. So, and then lots of games. And anytime I find a video game while I'm out thrifting, I'm sending Jeremy a picture to see if we need to add it into his collection. But this room gets a lot of use for many different reasons. Also, shout out to me thrifting this amazing old TV from an estate sale. It was free. I went straight for that TV. It has the VHS player in it. I know those are so popular now and everybody's looking for one. I found it before it was even cool, so I felt really good about that. It was free. We brought that from Maryland to Indiana and from Indiana to Michigan. Totally worth it. But now let's go across the hall into the bathroom. Welcome to our moody, kind of spa-like full bathroom. There's only one bathroom on this floor, and we make good use of this room. The tiles on this floor are incredible. One of the reasons that it sold me on this house is this tile work. I think it's so cool. We've got the checkered pattern, we've got the floral pattern. It's really cool. This room was white with tons of silver accents when we moved in, and I have been steadily replacing things with time. I thrifted the light fixtures, got those at an antique store. I got all the knobs in this room from an antique store. We have a little medicine cabinet in here. It is a really cool room that we've had to do a lot of work for. We've added shelves and added some more, like kind of collected vintage aesthetic in this room. And the black, I feel like, was a decision that I was a little unsure about, especially after we painted. I was like, it's really dark in here. But I feel like it really adds to the coziness of the room. And possibly my favorite thing in the entire house is that there is a laundry chute in this room. And so I don't have to be collecting laundry all the time. I love sending laundry down the chute to our washer and dryer in the basement. So game changing. Even if I were to build a new house now, I would add a laundry chute. It is so incredibly helpful. And then down the hallway, we have really cool built-in shelving in like a little closet in there. Super cool. And then the last room on this floor is the room that we use for GU's room. GU is our host daughter. She's from South Korea, but she is currently in college. So anytime she comes home for a break, this is the room she stays in. It's her room. Lots of her stuff is in here. And then we also have a little desk with a little computer setup. That's what I use for editing my videos. But the really cool part of this room, and I'm not going to show you all of her stuff because that's weird, but I want to show you guys there's a balcony in her room and it's really cool. So when you walk into her room, we have my little like desk set up over there for editing. But then what's really cool is this little door, and this little door leads out onto a small balcony, which is so cool. I really enjoy reading here, especially like in the spring and fall. It's just the perfect temperature. But let me show you guys this. It's gonna be really hard to be out there with you while I show this, so this might have to be off of your little tripod. It does feel a little scary out here sometimes. It's a really small balcony, but it's just fun that we have a little bit of outdoor living space, even up here in the middle of GU's bedroom. Plus this really cool 1946 footstool that I thrifted at an estate sale. Super cool. So that's it for the second floor of the house, but I did mention that that first door when we came up to the second floor is actually a staircase to the attic. So let me show you guys what that looks like because it's a little strange. Let's go back down the hallway. So the first door you come to is this door, and it is actually a full-on staircase. Really cool space. We looked at getting somebody to finish this attic space for us because it would add a lot of living space, but it's a really strange shape. Let's take you up there and show you what's going on. So it's hot up here, so we're not staying up here. There is a light. It's quite bright. This is where all of my winter clothes are stored for right now, but I know that's not super great for them, so I did buy some things to put them in storage underneath my bed. I just need to do that. That's a kind of future project. We have lots of the kids' clothes we have over here from back when we were fostering, things like that, kids' toys. So this room is really interesting. It's very warm and very cold up here, so it's a little hard of what we can store up here. Really interesting space, but it's really hot up here right now. It's like probably 100 degrees up here. So we're gonna head back down, all the way down these stairs and down the other staircase, and I'll meet you guys back over by the side door because we do have to go to the basement still. Okay, we're back at the side door. We're on the other side of the milk door, so that is where we are. But we're heading out into the basement. The basement is quite large, and this is also where I do all of my business. So if you don't know, I am a thrifting girly. I thrift and resell clothing and electronics and things like that online, and then I also make YouTube videos about it. So this whole downstairs, like the basement, is almost all for my business. And since we moved 6 or 7 months ago, I've also been very busy doing a thrifting challenge on my channel, and I have had zero time to work on the basement. So the basement is a whole hot mess. I am planning on basically changing everything about the basement. So I hesitate to show you it at all because it's probably going to change quite a lot, but I do want to show you guys where I do all of my business and where I keep all my inventory. So might as well just show you briefly overview, but probably will change a lot in the future because we do want to renovate some of the basement to make it living space. So but let's just show you guys what it looks like right now, okay? So you come down the stairs, and then immediately to your left, you have this room. It's this cool brick room with all of this shelving that was already here when we got here. This is where I store all of my shoes. So I have shoes in bins over here that I'm selling, and this is also my picture taking room. So I have just a plain white wall here with a nail in it, and this is where I take all my pictures. I have a little rug that I put on the ground, and it gets the job done. And you don't need a lot of fancy stuff to just be taking pictures. Like I do have this nice overhead lighting and a transom window, so there's a lot of natural light in here. But this room is a workhorse. This room gets a lot done. So then the stairs are behind you. My picture taking room is right here. This is actually a full bathroom. There is a shower in here, which I don't think we've ever used this, but it is a small bathroom that has the toilet, sink, and a shower, which I mean is great that we have a second full bathroom. We just don't use it because it's not as cozy as the upstairs one. But I mean, it's nice that this is on this floor, and we do have plans to hopefully renovate this area that you're about to see because I think that this would add a lot of square footage to our house too and give us more livable space, especially if we have kids. This would be a great another like playroom or something like that, you know? We have a lot of things still in boxes and still in bins from when we moved, but this is where I package everything. So I have my big old workbench here that I love. Got that at a garage sale for free. And then I have some shelving up here with all of my shipping supplies. So again, this might all change in the future. We might move my shipping area to be in the laundry room area. You'll see that in a second. And we might have a TV here and a couch and like carpet in here. So yeah, I don't know. I hesitate to show you this at all, but this is what it looks like right now. Then there's a doorway inside of this main room over here leading into the laundry room and the rest of my inventory. So let's go through that door. Somewhere over here. And this is where the laundry is. So wash and dry right here. This is where my laundry chute lets out. Oh my gosh, love that. It lands right on my dryer. I have a little basket there to catch all of the dirty clothes, which is amazing. This is where we dry clothing too, so you probably see things. That room is a storage room, super cool. But then if I turn, you guys will see our inventory. Well, you can see some of it here, but the majority of the inventory is stored over in here. I did a whatnot show a few days ago, and so I still have things set up for the clothing rack there, and I was using this table for putting things on, but all of my actual inventory for my clothing business is behind us, and it is a little bit of a mess in the basement. I cannot wait to tackle this. This has been stressing me out for months, so I'm excited to start working down here now that I've gotten a lot of the living areas of our house livable so we can actually, you know, use them. And we have a utility sink next to the washer and dryer as well, but then this room is, I'm assuming, what used to be maybe a cellar. It's super cool. Brick on all four walls. This is where I have turned this into kind of a decor storage area. I would love to have my own like decor booth or some sort of like home goods store maybe eventually. I love decorating. I think it's so much fun. So we keep a lot of that stuff here, as well as some board games, some winter clothes. You know, it's just like an all-around storage. We have a lot of our Christmas decor in this room. And then, of course, all of my creamy coconut Dr. Pepper zero sugar that I've been hoarding. So we use this room for a lot of things. It just is a storage room. But that's the entire basement. Besides the utility area, but like, there's quite a bit of room down here. Most of it's taken up by my business, which is great. It means I can work from home. It means I can support myself and my family and my husband, and we can have this home and live the life that we want. So that's the basement. Let me take you guys back upstairs to the main living room and let's wrap this house tour up. So this is our 1926, our Tudor home. We love it. It's been really fun to live life in a different way. We were in the suburbs in a house before this. Before that, we were in a townhouse. We've been pretty much we've lived in a lot of different areas, and now we live kind of like in the outskirts of Detroit, and it's a really walkable, like really dog friendly, outdoorsy area. So it's been very interesting living all of these different ways, but that's basically our entire house. I've done a lot of work to try to make it feel like home and to try to decorate it and make it feel like us and kind of give a cottage feel, this antique home that's like more Tudor and craftsman style. We really like our house. I know there's a lot more work to be done. I'm open to any suggestions anyone has. I'm still in the process of really trying to figure out what I want for the basement and definitely for our bedroom and some of the rooms upstairs too. It's a long process having a home and getting it kind of styled the way you want it and all of the house projects, and it takes a long time. And we've done a lot of projects. We've redone our kitchen cabinets, we've painted and redone Jeremy's game room, we've redone this bathroom, we've redone the other bathroom. It's been a lot of work, but it's been fun to kind of like find our style along the way. And I hope you guys enjoyed the house tour. I know that I have a lot of work to be done, so please be kind in the comments. I'm proud of how much we've gotten done. I could talk for ages about every single piece I've thrifted in this home. There's a story behind everything. So thank you guys so much for watching. And if you guys enjoyed this video, then make sure you subscribe. And also, if you have missed any of my thrifting content, go and check it out. I think you'll enjoy it. And I've got a lot of fun things in store for our upcoming videos as well. So I'll catch you guys in next week's video. Bye. You saying bye, baby?